So welcome back to some more Pokemon SoulSilver, where last time we made it to Mr. Pokemon's house and got some weird news from Professor Elm, and also fought a weird red-haired guy who is totally not a reincarnated Shadow. All of that just for us to start our new journey heading past Cherry Grove into, well, the gym. And this time, we're starting off in Route 29, for we have Pokemon to actually catch now. Starting our bios is Sentret. It's a really weak normal type. I'm not much of a fan of Sentret. While it does evolve into the ever so lovable memeable Furret, it's just not that great. It has decent abilities, but again, it's just not really that great of a Pokemon. It's okay at best. If anything, its ability of Runaway is nice, I guess, but that's about it. And a level up on Felix. No Ember. You will eventually get Ember. Kind of seeing if I can run into another Pokemon. Also, Sentret cannot show up at night, so be aware of that. Pidgey! Finally get to talk about you. A fast and decently strong normal type Pokemon. Or normal flying type, I should say. While it's a very standard flying type Pokemon, it can hit hard with moves such as Wing Attack and Return. Since it is part normal, Return would do amazing on it. However, its move pool was really bad, and Pidgey's final evolution is mostly a mixed attacker, so you're kind of dealing with weird cards there when it comes to Pidgey. So just be wary of its strengths and weaknesses. Otherwise, it's not bad. Starting off to another Pokemon, which, yeah, I'll just keep going through the bios, is Rattata. Rattata is a really good early game normal type Pokemon. It has a really huge physical attack stat for what it is, and can learn some really hard-hitting moves like Hyper Fang and Bite. And since it's so fast, it could be a pretty good sweeper. However, it does fall off later in-game because of the lack of coverage that it has, so you do want to kind of be careful with it. Otherwise, it's not a bad Pokemon to start with. I was just healing my Cyndaquil real quick, as we have plenty of potions. Heading up here, this is a different route. We'll go back to the other route and talk about some more Pokemon that are there. Route 46, southern side, has some unique Pokemon that we can find here. And I might see one of them. Yep, there it is, Geodude, an extremely tanky rock and ground type Pokemon. It could be a really good powerhouse. Learns some really destructive moves like Double Edge, Stone Edge, Earthquake. It's really good for that. Despite this, however, it is weak to six types, two of them being quad weaknesses. In total, it's weak to ice, fighting, ground, steel, quad weak to grass, and water. So, I will warn you that if you are going to use this, avoid its Sturdy ability. Sturdy is really bad because it only protects against one-hit KO moves, not just any move that could kill it outright. That's stuff like Fissure and Cheer Cold. So, definitely go for Rockhead, for it does play into the whole Double Edge strat. Only other bad thing is that you do have to trade to evolve it to its final evolution. Otherwise, it's a good Pokemon. I've used it before. It's actually not that bad. You should try different routes sometime. You never know what Pokemon you're going to get. Is this going to be an example of another Pokemon I can find here? Yes, it is Spearow. A more offensive version of Pidgey, it's a fast normal flying type that can deal some good damage. While hard to raise, you can get moves on it such as Return and Drill Peck, and it can tear through enemies just like that. However, keep in mind that while it is more more attack-oriented than Pidgey, it is a lot weaker in its defenses, so just keep in mind of that. It's a good option if you don't want to use just a standard Pidgey for a flyer. Heading back... I never talked to you. Different kinds of Pokemon appear past here. If you want to catch them all, you'll have to look everywhere. Fair enough. You can't climb ledges, but you can jump down from them to take a shortcut. Fair enough. Back on Route 29, there's one more Pokemon we can catch here, but it's only at nighttime, and that is Hoot Hoot. Hoot Hoot has... it's another really weird flyer. It has a high HP stat, and it's a pretty good specially defensive Pokemon, weirdly enough. Its whole gimmick is to be really annoying. it learns a weird variety of psychic and flying moves, and its main strategy is to set up confusion and hypnosis so that it can safely use Reflect and Dream Eater. However, it has really bad physical defenses, and it's slower than most of the flyers you'll see in this game. So keep that in mind, that if you're going to use it, be aware of its lack of physical defense, which most Pokemon in this game are physical attackers, so just be wary of that. Only shows up at nighttime, as I said. I don't think that girl shows up here yet. I guess not. Okay. There are specific people that can show up in certain routes on certain days. I will mention who they are for right now. We can't even access one of them, so I'll leave her be for right now. But whenever we have access to the first one, I'll make sure to mention where they all are and what they give you, because they do give you items. We're good on HP, I think, for right now. Let's just scoot on past up here. Also, the Pokemart does now have Pokeballs if you want to buy some. If you're for some reason going for all of the stuff, it's just, I don't know. You can if you want all the Pokemon. Starting in Route 30, we actually got a hint for this. Is Weedle. Exclusive to Pokemon SoulSilver for now. Keep that in mind for Heart Gold players. It is a bug-type Pokemon after all. It's a more, I guess, I don't know. I really don't know how to describe it. It's a more offensive version of Caterpie, if anything. It's not a bad Pokemon, though. Poison Bug can be annoying, and its fully evolved form is really early on in the game. You can get a pretty, well, you can fully evolve that thing before even reaching the first gym if you want. So its final evolution can be pretty good for that. However, as with all bug types, it is really weak. It has really bad defenses. Bug types are really weak in general. I guess it's nice that it has the added poison, but besides that, I really just would not recommend using a Weedle. By extension of Weedle, you have Kakuna. It's basically the counterpart of Metapod for this route. In Heart Gold, you would find Metapod here, but I'll talk about them in a second. Kakuna is just the evolved form of Weedle. If you want to skip its evolution and try to get a rare Kakuna, there you go. Kakuna is actually harder to raise because it only has Harden, so keep that in mind. As for Heart Gold players, you can find Caterpies here. Caterpie is just a really weak bug-type Pokemon. However, its fully evolved form turns into a bug flying type and has some pretty good moves like Bug Buzz and Powder moves. However, it remains weak throughout its entire evolution, so just keep that in mind. It's kind of the same deal as the Weedle and Kakuna line in this place. As extended with Metapod, it has the same problem as Kakuna in that if you catch them here, you have no attacking moves, so I really don't recommend catching one of those here unless if you're going for a living dex. Just simply get a Weedle or / Caterpie and just evolve it into the Kakuna / Metapod. As for new Pokemon here, I was kind of hoping I was going to run into it. Actually, I can't run into it here. That's exclusive. Oh, wait, no. I can run into it here. Never mind. Ledippa is exclusive to Pokemon SoulSilver, and this thing just sucks. It is a really bad bug flying type, and while it does have an evolution and does get a weird move of Comet Punch, it's just, again, it's another really weak bug Pokemon that just sucks. I guess the nice thing is that it does evolve at level 18, and that it has the ability Swarm, which is basically a bug-type version of Blaze. I just wouldn't recommend it. And Heart Gold players, at nighttime, you can find Spinarak here. Spinarak is a lot better than Ledippa. Also, I forgot to mention that Ledippa is exclusive in the morning for SoulSilver players. Spinarak, while incredibly weak, is actually really good once it evolves. Stays as a bug poison type throughout its entire evolution. It gets a ooh, we finally got Ember, yay! It gets a good, pretty decent attack stat and learns pretty good physical moves like Poison Jab and Sucker Punch. And it has an exclusive move at this point called Spider Web, which is bug-type Mean Look. I would say its bug moves does suck, and it is weak to a lot of types due to it being a bug type, but it's definitely a big improvement compared to Ledippa. I'm actually jealous of Heart Gold players for that. Now we're done with all the bios here. You were a trainer! I just lost, so I'm trying to find more Pokemon. Wait, you look weak. Come on, let's battle. Challenged by youngster Joey. Oh, the classic youngster Joey. Now that we have Emperor, I can talk about something called Stab. Short for same type attack bonus. Your same type moves to the same, well, if your move is the same type as you will get a damage bonus off of it. So, since we're a fire type using a fire move, we're dealing more damage. Hey, can I get your number? I'll ring you up to battle. Hell yeah, buddy. You're a classic for a reason. I'll ring you up whenever I get the urge to battle. And you want to fight me too. For the most part, I will be trying to fight every single trainer, but I may not show every single fight, unless if they have a Pokemon that is not usual around the area. Unlike Pidgey. It's a level 2 Pidgey. How'd you even get this? I'm just gonna Ember your ass. And I never really mentioned what Felix's ability is. Blaze is really good. What it does is it will increase the power of fire-type moves once the user's HP is below a third. Hence the in a pinch. This is shared throughout all of these starters. For Chikorita has a grass-type version, and Totodile has a water-type version, so pretty good moves, or pretty good abilities. That's why I was saying Swarm's not too bad on a bug-type Pokemon. It at least gives it a fighting chance. Hello, random girl. I'm not a trainer, but if you look one in the eyes, prepare to battle. Fair enough. Another thing, too, is if a trainer offers their phone number, I will be grabbing every phone number that we can get. Simply because, well, we can hold infinite amount of numbers in this game, thankfully. And also, why not? You'll eventually be able to do different things if they call you, so I'll just keep them on the, well, on dial, I guess. Oh, and we get to murder these Caterpie because they are all weak to fire. Seriously, okay, there are bug types I like. I do like certain bug types, and actually for this LP, I will be using a certain bug type, but most of them just suck. I'm sorry, they just do. Especially Caterpie and Wheel. Level 11, getting pretty high up in the levels. Heading up here. This is where your mom would have called you if you did not talk to her before you left town. Are we going to run into something here? Okay, no. There are new Pokemon on this route. This is a different route entirely, so I'm not going to get into the bios yet, because there is a different place I want to go into. Dark Cave. If a Pokemon could light it up, I'd explore it. You're just a pansy who needs the light. Also, a potion. Heading into this cave. It is quite dark. It is quite a dark cave, as the name implies. And heading through here gives us an example of maybe? Now, okay. With bios here, there's 2 Pokemon we can get here. Zubat. It's a classic poison flying type that is really good once you get it with good moves, at least. Using it right off the gate sucks. I'm sorry, Zubat sucks at the very beginning. However, once it starts getting wing attack, case in point here, it becomes a really good powerhouse. Poison flying's a great typing, and Zubat's fully evolved form is extremely fast. It learns really good moves such as U-turn, cross poison, wing attack. Its ability of inner focus makes it even better since, you never have to worry about it flinching. It's really nice. Just keep in mind that if you are going to raise this thing, try not to get it killed a lot because its full evolution requires happiness. And at a 1% chance, you can find Dunsparce. It's not good. It's a pure normal type that doesn't have really any stats to show for it. It's just, mostly it's just a tank with no moves to really use. It's just not good. Just don't waste your time with it. Back on Route 31, we do have more new encounters. Also, a apricorn tree. Bulk. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be black, but they couldn't afford the A and the C. Huh? I walked too far today looking for Pokemon. My feet hurt and I'm sleepy. If I were a wild Pokemon, I'd be easy to catch. Ugh. Sleepy much? As we're fighting this guy, we can get into the new encounter we can get on this route, because this is a separate route from Route 30. Here we can find Bellsprouts. Despite its weak stage, it's actually a really good when it fully evolves. It's kind of like Zubat's situation. It's Grass Poison type, which is a really good typing. Carries really good resistances while having good coverage moves like Sludge Bomb and Leaf Blade eventually. It's also a mixed attacker, so you can use it as either as a physical attacker or a special attacker if you still wish. However, its level up pool is really bad, so you'll have to resort to TMs to get its true potential out. Along with that, you'll have to find a Leaf Stone somewhere. We'll find sources of that later to fully evolve the thing, so just keep that in mind. I am surprised I am not through your entire fight just from talking about Bellsprout. Another thing with Bellsprout, I'm not going to pull up its bio, but you may want to catch one here. And actually, if I run into one, I will catch one, because there is something kind of special you can do with Bellsprout in the next town. So, just keep that in mind. And also, this is a trainer worth fighting because he will give you a phone number. So, this guy's actually kind of cool. For one of the things he can do, all kinds of berries, yeah. So, he can occasionally call you, and he will give you some free berries if he finds some. Over here is a Pokeball. Pointless Pokeball. Well, actually, I'm gonna see if I can get a Bellsprout out here. It shouldn't be too rare. And it's a Pidgey. Like I said, though, well, I didn't say this. Why did I say like I said? I'll skip ahead until I find a Bellsprout, or if I just give up on trying to find one, because, again, there is something I want to show. Also, crit hit much. Jeez. Level 12 on Felix after killing a Kakuna. There you are, you stupid Bellsprouts. Oh, how am I going to get you? Oh, I'm definitely going to okay, I'm just going to try a random Pokeball and see if it works. The catch rates in Gen 4 are really bad, and since this thing's full health, it will have a really high chance of breaking out of the Pokeball. 1, 2. Case in point. The thing is, if I tap this thing at all, I'm pretty sure it will die, so... you don't have to do this, by the way. I'm going to try this one more time, and if it doesn't work, I'll just punch it and see if it'll die. Not even a shake. Jeez, okay. I think this thing does have some... I will say, though, if you are using a Totodile, Bellsprout's a really good Pokemon to have with you to cover against other Pokemon, so... Oh, it didn't die from it. I thought it was way too high level. Never mind. Alright, those Pokeballs were wasted. It's not that big a deal. Pokeballs are decently cheap, but... Anyways, try to catch you, please. 1, 2, 3, catch. While I'm not using this on my team, I am going to nickname it because I think it'd be funny. Plants its feet deep underground to replenish water. I'm going to name you Viney because I think it'd be funny. There we go. Did not mean to hit select. As I said, though, you don't need to catch one. I'm just doing it for LP purposes. I found a good Pokemon in Dark Cave. I'm going to raise it to take on Faulkner. He's the leader of Violet City's gym. Fair enough. Heading through here. Lyra followed us. I knew it was you. How'd you get past me? Here's something neat for surprising me. Versus Recorder. I can't even use this. Versus Recorder, record your Pokemon battles. Only Pokemon battles with... I think it's only online, actually. Online or infrared, so... kind of pointless. Welcome to Violet City. We care about the traditional buildings around here. That's why even the Pokemon and the Poké Center are painted a bit somberly to blend in. Yeah, that's kind of a cool thing. This is, I think, the only place in the game where the Pokemon and the Poké Center are different. There have been reports of ghost-type Pokemon appearing in Sprout Tower. They say normal-type moves have no effect on them. This guy's great. Shoddy berry, yada yada, I trade a berry for a shard. If you bring me some shards, I give you 3 berries. We can't even get shards, bud. Whatever. Main reason I wanted to catch that Bellsprout is in this house, there's a kid. I collect Pokemon. Do you have a Bellsprout? I want to trade it for my Onix. I would say this is very well worth a trade if you're going for the gym leader here and you're using Chikorita. I'll explain why later, but Goodbye, Viney. That is why I wanted to name you Viney. Because, well, all the traded Pokemon have their own nicknames here, so... At least for traded Pokemon. So, at least we get to see this little trade thing. I'm not going to be doing every in-game trade, but I at least want to show this one off, because this one's actually really helpful, especially if you're using Chikorita. There he is. Big boy Onix. There's the boy, Rocky. If there was more space, I would have named him Rocky Balboa. Because, damn it, it's funny. Got myself a Bellsprout. You could literally just catch one outside here, bud. How's my old Onix doing? I just got him. So this one comes with a Person Berry that heals paralysis. And I believe its stats are randomized, I'm pretty sure. So, I'll give a buy over this since you can technically get it. Onix is a stupidly tanky rock and ground type with really good speed, actually. In this instance, he's really helpful for taking down the gym since this gym here is all flying types. Besides that, there's not a lot of great moves for it for a long time, so it's kind of weird. And I will say that evolving it is usually a pain. However, there will be something later on in the game that will allow us to get its evolved form, so don't worry about that for right now. I'd say only pick this up if you're going to use Chikorita for this gym, or just have something against flying types. So there we go. Onix is a pretty good find. You can also find Onix later. You can catch them later, so it's not that big of a deal. In here, I'm just going to go and heal up and then end off the episode. That guy next to the PC is quite special, but I want to talk about him next time. And again, we're going to be running out of time here soon. So, after healing up, I'm not going to be using this Onix, but I might as well just have him with me. Rocky's cool. I'm going to end things off here. So, next time on Pokemon SoulSilver, we'll explore around Violet City and see what else is there to, well, view. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.